Here we are again, Texas Association of Fire Educators Conference 2019. I'm here with our keynote speaker, Ryan Parrott. Ryan, everyone, appreciate your service to our country and everything you've done for us. Any man that says that they're SEAL Team 6, which in my mind, all I know is about how bad and tough those dudes are. You say you're SEAL Team 7, you're even tougher. Hey, I'm not messing with you, man. I'm not touching you. I appreciate everything you've done. You kind of spoke in your talk about after you served our country when you came back. Appreciate you coming back to the state of Texas. I happen to be very partial to Texas and love Texas, but you said you didn't really have a mission anymore. Why don't you explain what that meant to you, what happened, that feeling you went through, and then exactly what your new mission is now that you're currently serving in?
Absolutely. Well, you know, the deal of being in the service of any kind, you know, when you get attached to it and you do it for a period of time, it's your life, it's your being, and when you stop doing that, what do you do? What's your mission at that point? And we don't necessarily get it right off the bat. So when I got out, I moved to Texas. It's the Patriot state, and I love being here. And it took me a little bit of time to really find out what my new mission step was. But ultimately, it was meeting an Army Ranger who was burned from an IED in the war. And understanding and discovering his injuries were things that I never looked at before. When we look at injuries overseas, we look at gunshot wounds, we look at blast wounds, missing limbs. But when you don't really know a lot about burns. And fire knows a lot more about burns than the military does. So start seeing this injury, it's like, wow, I need to know more about that. And then really not finding anything online to give him to say, hey, here's the deal, this is what's out there, let's go start a GoFundMe site and help you and be done with it. There wasn't. And so that in 2011, I was looking into it. In 2012, January, we started Sons of the Flag to be the resource for burn survivors to really figure out what those answers are. Because that's the biggest question. When you get injured, and it's in any type of injury, when you get injured, the first question is what's next.
Right.
So we want to be that resource to give them the guidelines of here's what's next.
That's something as a firefighter. In my mind, there's plenty of doctors, there's plenty of help. If I sacrifice and do what I do, I'm going to find the help. But you kind of said some pretty interesting information about the number of doctors and stuff in the extended care that exists. So how many doctors out there, and kind of talk about the program that you're doing to try to help alleviate that issue?
Absolutely. So the American Burn Association does a really good job of the statistics on what's out there. And so roughly we know there's over 400,000 people that get burned in the USA roughly every year. So of the 400,000 or over, there's only between 120 and 200 accredited burn surgeons, or just real burn surgeons out there nationally. So they're not even going to be able to meet the spread. Right. So if a patient's going to a different doctor that's not burn trained, that's a problem. And so while they may be able to help, that's still, you need the excellence, you need the training. So Sons of the Flag does fellowship programs. In the residency of the doctor, we're going to give them another year of schooling, but they're going to do a fellowship program under Sons of the Flag where they'll become a burn surgeon working underneath burn surgeons to understand what that field looks like, and then hopefully continuing on into the burn care community as a burn doctor, which will help thousands of patients in their lifetime. Which is adding to the mix, shrinking the number of the 400K. Yeah,
and another thing you do is I like what you talked about, where there's a lot of help for a patient up to a certain point, and then you come to that person and say, what do you need? It's not so much what do you need to get through, but what do you need, like you said, to get back to your norm.
That's right.
What does your program do to help that?
So it's a multiple of things. You can go on sonsoftheflag.org and actually see exactly what we do. As far as we have Mission Reconstruct Freedom, it's our pinnacle program, and that's where we take the patient and put them with the team of doctors to evaluate them and then say, here's a game plan of how we can fix you or help you. And then we send them free of charge with a family member out to Tampa, Florida, where they get their absolute 100% fix. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to walk away with no scars, no injuries, but it's about movement, functionality, and it's about living the best life you can. So that's what we're trying to achieve. So we put them with a team of doctors. But ultimately, there's multiple things we do because not every patient needs surgery. Some people might be dealing with demons, it's the mental side. Some people might need family advocacy. Some people might need a replacement of certain things, cell phones if there is a car injury or whatnot. So we get asked tons of times for different things other than surgery. And so that's why there's a survivor support program. So you can click on that on our website and you can go ask for, an interesting one is a very good friend of ours, Omar Avila, Army Sergeant, was burned in the war, and he asked for a set of weights. And it's on our video on Sons of the Flag.
I saw the video the other day, and it's a powerful story.
Yeah, and so that's the thing. If a patient says, I need this, or this is what I think is going to help me in my mind, well, that's perfect. So obviously we're not going to go buy a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce. Right. But a set of weights to get this guy back in the gym and, fighting again. And he is. Now he's the world record holder for the Paralympics deadlift and bench press.
It's awesome.
So
It's an incredible story. So, but can't thank you enough for both missions. Your first mission for serving our country, now what you're doing to help firefighters. I'm sure people watching this video and hear what you talk and check out your website are going to be touched by your story. So what can they do to help? I'm sure is a question we're going to get asked.
Absolutely. You can go to sonsoftheflag.org. That's sonsoftheflag.org, and check everything we do out. Learn it line item to line item so that you can tell other people. Number one, share it. Just tell everybody that we exist, not just in the fire community, but overall. We really do want to grow this organization and be known that we're doing the due diligence to help our veterans first.